All right, time to welcome you back to the program. Good morning, Nigeria. And of course, we have a newspaper review, and that's coming up presently.
This is the newspaper review segment. Of course, to do that, a man who wears even wearing a spectacle is a spectacle. And that is a man whose name never grows old. Chukwudi Okule Ugaja.
Fisayo, am I happy to see you? I remember you. Great man. You give us a good time. How are you doing? I should welcome him to the show. Hey, just imagine the, brigadier. He's coming in. I should welcome him. Claire, are you jealous? Goody oldie.
That's what strike does.
Yeah.
It brings out those who hide.
Please. No. It's not a good prayer to say distraction. I want you to continue, please. I hope management is listening to me.
Anyway, Chukwudi, good to have you with us. Let's quickly start the newspaper review, and I'm starting up with Vanguard. Quite a busy front page for the Vanguard, but as expected, today's story, of course, is on the organized labor strike, and it reads, Labour shots Nigeria as wage talks resume today. And quite a number of riders there. Soldiers Bar, journalists from OSGF Sakume meet Labour. FG asks Labour to return to negotiations. Tinubu Akpabio Abbas meet in Asu Rock. Army dismisses NLC's allegation on surrounding meeting venue. Blackout looms as workers shut down power sector. All workers stop fuel distribution. All ports nationwide. Banks, schools, airports shut. Flight grounded. Passengers stranded. FG Labour must return to negotiation table to avert mass suffering, starts LP Labour Party. Muslim pilgrims stranded as strike forces planes to return empty to Saudi Arabia. Now consider workers' plight. Take action to implement living wage. Khan tells FG. Quite a mouthful of riders there following the late story. Just to take you a little, of course, the picture story to my left, that should be to your right. Nigeria Labour Congress NLC chairperson in Lagos, Comrade Fumi Shisi, urging workers to leave the Lagos State Secretariat for strike. And that happened yesterday. And just above the nameplate, we have other trending stories. Why we revoked Heritage Bank's license, CBN. I think there's an interesting story. Depositors would want to find out all the details. That story is on page 19. And Nama MD wants reversal of 50% IGR deduction in interest of safety. Presidential Committee canvasses 1% revenue cost of collection. It's on page 9. And government reforms shouldn't push Nigerians into poverty. That's Ajaero, the NLC, of course, president. And leadership leads with a bold caption, FG begs as Labour grounds Nigeria over minimum wage. And that's the leadership. Of course, we have, in continuation of the commissioning of projects in the FCT, Mr. President is expected today to also commission more completed road within the Federal Capital Territory, this time the Northern Parkway to other Northern Expressway. And that's, of course, right there on the front page. But just before I bring in Fisayo, there's Mr. and Mrs. I haven't read it, but I just want to, Mr. and Mrs. is always giving out something to think about. You didn't shed a tear when my mother died. No, when her mother died. People were looking at you like a wicked person. And the man says, I cried when your father died. I cried when your uncle died. I cried when your grandmother and grandfather died. I've run out of tears. The harsh economy has taken its own toll on everything. Chukwudi, did you get that? Okay? So everything now is blamed on the economy.
It's not just everything being blamed on the economy. This is a man whom we can accuse of sexism. He is crying only for the male departures. Fisayo, you're bitter.
let me reserve my comments because these days you have to blame the lack of tears on something. It could also be as a result of it could be as a result of a lot of things. Perhaps even his relationship with those who departed and he didn't share the tear. You understand?
Yeah. A man doesn't out with it all. He keeps something to himself.
Yeah. So let's see what's on the Daily Sun. The opening page, the Daily Sun is, the main advert is about the Federal Capital Territory commissioning, but just beside the masthead, you see this one: fear grips Makurdi as herdsmen attack and injure 6. PDP condemns attack, says Benue under siege. Then something on Heritage Bank, bad loans, poor due diligence costs Heritage Bank its license. And of course, the Daily Sun is not shying away from the issue of FG Labour, and says FG Labour decide new minimum wage in a week, Claire. This is on page 6, 8, and 25. Perhaps maybe this headline came before some of the resolutions yesterday, because Labour said they would go to the, organs of then, so not only they're going to go back and then get approvals from other organs so that they can know whether to call it off. We got the track up there in
so they can take action. Fisa Chukudi, we're waiting for you.
Quickly, this is very important. I'm going to go to Labour because it's the talk of the town. But let me quickly talk about the heritage. The first thing that happens when this kind of thing happens is that people panic. What has become of my money? Oh, they've killed me. I don't think it's really like that. The law guiding the activities of the NDIC is a law that is more humane now. Okay? The liquidation process has started. The customers do not have any fears if their money is 5 million or below.
Who is saying so? You or the...
No.
That's the NDIC.
It's spelled out there. Okay. It's spelled out there. That has become law. But if you have in excess of 5 million, you have to wait for the disposal of the bank's assets and all that to get the excess over the 5 million you have. So people should not panic. And I want to say, how many people really have more than 5 million in the bank?
Yes, and of course they said,
don't keep your money in the bank. Go and invest it.
And the NDIC is saying to those of them who have, who are expecting about 5 million, that they shouldn't also worry because the money will be transferred to their alternate
accounts
using their BVN. Yes, so it makes it easier.
It's a much more organized.
It makes it easier, so you don't have to go to the bank.
All states, era and all that, all the tiers that people had. We are moving, really. We are
in the 90s, you had issues of a bank run when people quickly rush to the banks when the hair is stressed and withdraw in bulk and all that. But electronically you can just transfer. But the only issue will be for customers perhaps who have just one bank account, and they now need
precisely. That's very important. But again,
put forward a new account, perhaps register somewhere, then put forward a new account.
But did anyone expect? Did we see it coming that Heritage was going to be, revoked the license?
No, you don't see it coming as a watcher, an observer out there in public. But financial watchers would know. Government would know when distress is creeping onto the premises of a bank. But you do not rush into announcing it because the panic aspect of it is played down a lot. You don't want to give people that the financial environment is that shaky, you understand?
Okay,
but let's go to another.
Yes, we're told we have just a few minutes
really?
remaining.
Please, 3 good things about the strike. Let me quickly say. NACON, that's the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, is assuring intending pilgrims that the industrial action will not affect the trip to Saudi Arabia. Good thing. Our senior secondary school students are writing their exams. Good thing. Then the other good thing in the immediate is that the government and Labour, they have signed a pact to keep talking. To keep talking. Those are the good things. Otherwise, Claire, not having electricity.
Otherwise, Labour strike has also crippled Super Eagles.
This is where I want to go.
Exactly.
Just coin it very well.
Yes.
The strike is affecting our strikers in the Super Eagles.
It's Super
They can't
Eagles,
travel to
yes.
you.
You know, and then
for the
yes,
qualifiers.
and then the Bafana people are blowing hot. They're preparing for a Super Eagles clash. So if our Super Eagles can't, you know, but I'm wondering how.
Some of them fly to Abuja and they can't connect to you. Some are in Lagos.
No, but by special arrangement, for crying out loud, like the issue of pilgrims. I can't save up for Hajj and you tell me an industrial action. So also would we, as sports has become the unifier in this country, and make provision for that match not to be impeded.
Professor, I would have
that's
asked
my
you,
opinion.
yes, just before we go, just in less than 30 minutes, CSR is apprehensive over Osimhen's absence. I don't know.
Is it Siasia or Gangling Finidi George?
Well,
Siasa is former coach. He's just expressing
his fears.
Osimhen not being there perhaps will give some confidence to our opponents, but we have a lot of players now. Victor Boniface and so many players are coming in. And Lookman, fresh from a hat-trick.
No, don't just call him Lookman. Call him the guy that knocked out Leverkusen.
Chico, goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, you're goodbying me at this stage
yes,
already? I was actually rearing to go.
Please, thank you. Thank you, as always. Thank you.
Thanks
you're
a lot.
watching Good Morning Nigeria. We'll take a short break. The conversation will begin presently. Please join us again.